All right, traders, this is my watch list video for Monday, which is going to be December 3rd. So November's in the books. Showing you the SPY here. It's come running up for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days straight, right up into the 200 day, which normally I say could be significant. But with the G20 going on, I kind of expect by Monday morning there'll be some blurbs, either positive or negative, about China, trade, tariffs, and all that sort of stuff. So I honestly don't know what to expect on Monday, but you certainly want to be knowledgeable about that. I'm sure by the time the market opens, we'll know if there's going to be a positive, negative reaction, or if everything will still be up in the air. But anyway, so here is what I'm watching. Well, let me real quick. But if you hadn't been in chat on Friday, this ASNS, sorry, was good to us again. I took some screenshots I wanted to share. These arrows here pointing to you see I posted the buy zone idea. So if you missed Friday, you missed, there's a screenshot of the call, and you can see I got filled at exactly 394, which was almost the bottom of this candle here. It went down to 390 and then turned back up. Now, I sold it all into this bounce here. Let's pan back out. But then called it again, as you can see over here. 431 long idea with a 415 stop, rang the bell, and you can see from the screenshot in chat, several people got it, right? And let's focus on this. And again, practice what I preach. I did a limit of 432, got filled at 430, and then I bought some more with a limit of 430, and these might have been in opposite order. I don't know which one of these I did first, but anyway, I ended up with 6,000 shares, literally right at 430. We always talk about this. There was a seller at 430, and there was, let me pan out here, 430 seller right in here, right? We always say we want to be, if we can, we want to skillfully be the last one to take that seller out, right? So it gave a nice countdown. You could see volume coming in, and you see I got filled all of my shares at exactly 430, right? The reason I liked it is you had 1, 2, 3 potential catalysts going back a couple days for possible squeeze, and it absolutely did that. So the two, we just nailed ASNS twice in chat on Friday. So anyway, let me get that out of the way and get started on the watch list. But the reason I post, like, hey, if you weren't there, I'm trying to motivate people to show up. If you have the time, show up to chat, because there's been some really nice calls in there. So, all right, anyway, what am I watching for Monday? AMBA, nice break out of this, I don't know, 1 month range, maybe a little more than that, and closed pretty strong. So we'll see if it gives a follow-through setup on Monday. OGEN, actually really strong volume for this one, and kind of broke out of a trend line there, and pretty strong. So maybe a follow-through day there as well. NTEC, NTEC had some sort of news. Somebody said they were in it. Somebody somewhat famous or something, I guess, said they were in it, and it popped on that news on Friday. Gave back some of its gains, but, closed above the middle of its range. So we'll see if we get any kind of clean setup there. AYTU, I'll have to zoom in so you can get a better look at this one. AYTU had unusual volume on Friday and really tried to break out of this range. Let me zoom in a little more. Tried to break out of this tight range. Let's glance at it on 60s. You can kind of get a better view this way. So it's doing a nice job trying to break out of this range here. Back to 5-minute candles, you can see it kind of gave up some at the end, but oftentimes you get end of day selling if something doesn't continue to break out into the close. But because of the volume and closing well above its open, we're going to watch that one too. All right, NIO, just another red day. You kind of have, if you blow your vision a little bit, sort of an inverse head and shoulders, right? Sort of a cup and handle from here over, and this is normal when you come up and test resistance after a 2-day run. A pullback is normal, and it's lower volume on the pullback. So I still think this one could break out of this pattern to the upside one of these days. Goes back on watch. TNXP, after the huge volume day on Thursday, it gave back a lot of its morning gains on Thursday, and then gave back most of the gains now on Friday as well from the gap up. But it could bounce nicely on Monday, so I still want to watch it. ANY, which I quit watching the last couple days because it felt real toppy, and it turns out it was real toppy. It is coming down into that area we love to call the buy zone between the 8 and the 20-day moving average. So I am going to start watching it again. I wouldn't mind one more red day to take it down to this area on Monday, and then I'll really like it for a bounce on Tuesday. But anyway, we'll start watching it tomorrow. Monday. NBEV had this nice pop here, then tried to follow through, and then yesterday, I'm making this video on a Saturday, which is throwing me off. Friday was an inside day, inside of Thursday's day. So this one could be kind of forming a little flag and maybe ready to go again. I'll show you 15-minute candles. Kind of easier to see that way. There's the big move, and it's kind of flagging. Could also break down out of the flag, so we don't just blindly take something. But if we get a low risk setup, I'll give it a try. A couple more. CASI had this kind of tight little flag pattern here that it broke out of. We'll see if it gives, and decent volume for this stock. Still not even 1 million shares. See if it gives a follow-through day on Monday. And then SGMS. This one's kind of obscure, but it did have nice volume 3 days ago, which would have been Wednesday, right? Really nice volume for this stock. Inside day on Thursday and kind of a little green day on Friday. Let's glance at this one on 15-minute candles as well. So there's that big pop, and it's kind of flagging. So this one, it's kind of obscure, but it does have unusual volume the last, at least on Wednesday it did, so I'm going to watch it. I'm not in love with this one. There has been some really, really nice trading. Some stocks, some of the low float, low price stocks are really making big moves, so it's a good time to be in chat if you can. And I'll see most of you hopefully on Monday.